Here's a brief explanation of how the trimmed mean is different than the arithmetic mean. In this example here, we have a series of workplace and apprenticeship 30 marks from 11 different students, and we've calculated the mean, the arithmetic mean, to be 68.5. What does that mean? It means that we added up these 11 marks and then we divided by 11. But if you take a very close look, you'll see that 2 of these marks are just crazy low. And I think they must have pulled the class average down because look, the class average is lower than every single mark except for these 2. So this mean doesn't really accurately represent how the class performed. The class actually did really quite well, except for Barry and Wary, who really did not do well. So in this case, we're going to use a trimmed mean. We're going to drop out what we call outliers. And outliers are values that are really very different than all the other values that we've got. 2 and 5 are very, very different than all the other marks that we have here. However, if we just drop out these super low marks, we're going to get a mean that's just a little bit too high to accurately represent the performance of the class, like we're just pretending that these 2 people didn't exist. So to balance that off, we are going to drop off the 2 highest marks. The 2 outliers are very low, so when we drop out the 2 outliers on the bottom, we need to drop out the 2 highest marks as well, which will be the 98 and the 99. So the trimmed mean is going to be the mean of all of the numbers that are left over now. So that means we got 78 plus 84 plus 80 plus 90 plus 74 plus 69 plus 75 equals 550, and because we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items here, trimmed mean is going to be 550 divided by 7, and that's going to be 78.57, rounds up to 78.6, and that will be the trimmed mean. Let's compare it to the actual mean here. The original mean was 68.5, which we felt was pretty low to represent the performance of the class because of these 2 outliers. So we dropped these 2 outliers, but they were the outliers on the bottom, so we needed also to drop 2 marks, the 2 highest marks, and we came out with a trimmed mean of 78.6. And if you take a look at the 78.6, then that's a little bit more realistic compared to what most of the class got.